Okay, our next transformation we're going to learn about is called horizontal. So remember, our last one was vertical, up and down. Horizontal is right and left. So how can I move my graphs to the right and how can I move my graphs to the left? Okay, so this is the next slide. Again, just like before, we're going to make equations for both right and left, and then we're going to find the graphs for what shows right and left. I would say horizontal is the trickiest one because it involves parentheses. And remember from last unit, whenever you have parentheses, your sign is going to flip. So it's going to be a little like opposite because we have parentheses, our sign has to flip. So the first transformation, what if I wanted to move my graph right to the right 2? So, and I'm actually going to flip over here to a different slide. So right 2, we're always going to start with our parent function, which is y equals x squared, right? So we're going to always start the same way. The only thing now is I want you to put parentheses around my x. So remember, when we were going up and down, we had no parentheses. We had a +2 or a -2, right? For horizontal, we're going to put everything inside the parentheses. It will not be at the very end. It will be inside the parentheses. So if I want to go right to the right 2 on a graph, when you go to the right, like this one right here, right? I'm moving to the right. To the right on a graph is all positive numbers, right? +1 to the right, +2, +3. But even though they're positive, when we put them in the parenthesis, we're going to flip the sign. So if I'm saying right 2, I'm actually going to say x minus 2 because the parentheses kind of say you're doing the opposite. So even though it looks like a -2 in the parentheses, when you graph it, it's going to go positive to the right. So this is your equation for right 2. If you want to leave yourself a note, you can say always use parentheses for horizontal. Okay. For left 2, again, I'm going to start with my parent function, right? I'm going to put parentheses around my x. Now again, left on a graph, like this one right here, I am going left, right? And if I go left, it's -1, -2, -3, right? It's all these negative numbers. But when I put it in the parentheses, I'm going to do a positive. So when I want to go left 2, it's going to be x plus 2. So it's kind of backwards, but those parentheses make that happen. Okay, let's go ahead and find our graphs for going right 2 and left 2. So let's go down to our purple slide, slide 19, and I want you first to look for which picture is moving to the right by 2. So starting at 0 and sliding to the right by 2. So I think it's this one right here. Look at, it's going to the right 1, 2. So I'm going to copy this one and go ahead and put it back on my slide, right 2. And then now let's look for left 2. I think it's right above it, right here. It's starting at 0 and it's sliding to the left 1, 2. So I'm going to copy that picture and again put it in my table. And this slide is done. You have the right and the left. And just remember, I can say any number. I could say right 17, and you would just put x minus 17. Whatever the number is, just make it look like that, but change the number. Okay, so let's look at these examples and let's make the equations ourselves. So this one, remember, always starting at 0, that's my red, and then I'm moving to the green. So when I move to the right by 3. So I'm going to say right 3. I'm going to put it in words first, and then we're going to make our equation. So remember, we always start with our parent function. So I'm going to do that. But when you're working with right and left, we're going to put parentheses around my x. And let's look back at before. When I am going right, it's going to be x minus something, right? So I know it's right 3. It's going to be x minus 3. This is my equation for this graph. Second example, I'm going to start at 0, and this time I'm going left and it's 7, right? Left 7. So let's go ahead and put that in words first. Left 7. And then let's make my equation. So my equation, I'm going to do my parent function first, y equals x squared. I'm going to put parentheses around x. And let's look back. How do I write left, or any number that's going left? It's going to be x plus in the parentheses. So I'm going to do x plus 7. So that's how you write an equation based off a graph. Try the next two on your own.